How you doing? My name is Antonio. My page is Unapologetically Black ADOS. Ask you to like and subscribe to the page and share this video if you agree with my message. Video prior calling video call BET for sale, Tyler Perry, Sean Combs, and Byron Allen compete to purchase a burning building. The reason why that title was used is because Europeans had already understood that they were selling black people a declining asset, and they was trying to use our emotions in order to convince blacks to make a bad deal. And they knew that most of the black public would promote and push for BET to be back in the hands of black ownership. But that's just emotions. That's just nostalgia. It is more feasible or sensible for a person who got the resources to purchase BET to build out their own streaming outlet.
Article, okay, thank you. Paramount was pulling the auction of BET. And so what the article laid out, it mentioned that Tyler Perry, Byron Allen, Diddy, and others were bidding on the network, and that the sale of BET was not going to, frankly, help their balance sheet. Now, Paramount, based upon all available reports, they were looking to fetch some $3 billion for majority stake BET. Okay, that was idiotic, okay? Control room, pull the story up from the New York Times when BET was sold, okay? Now remember, y'all, Bob Johnson and Sheila Johnson, co-founders of BET. They make the announcement, the selling of BET, all right? BET was sold for less than $3 billion, okay? It was $2.34 billion, and the assumption of about $500 million in debt. So, BET sold for slightly less than $3 billion. So think about that. BET sold years ago for less, was it 99? For less than $3 billion. And your Paramount, you actually thought somebody was going to bid on BET in 2023 for a majority stake for $3 billion? Anybody who would have given Paramount $3 billion for a majority stake, and not all of it, for the depreciating asset, is stupid.
See, we have to understand that every industry has different what you call stages. So you have a growth stage, you have a maturity stage, then you have a decline stage if another product comes in and make your product or make that industry more obsolete, which streaming did and made cable outlets more obsolete.
So I need people to understand what's going on here. They actually thought that black folks were going to overpay for the asset. Now, here's the whole deal. When you're selling these companies, you hope somebody overpays. You really hope somebody is dumb like Elon Musk, who completely overpaid by about, $20 billion for Twitter. We see how that's gone. The reality is no cable network is worth any of that. Who told us that? Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney. This is what he said last month on CNBC when it came to the linear assets that Disney owns.
And I came back to the company at the request of the board. It's a company that I started working at in 1974, 49 years ago when it was ABC, and we became part of Disney. And I obviously have deep passion for the company and in the business, and I care a lot about the people. After coming back, realized that the company was facing a number of challenges, some self-inflicted, some caused by changes in the business, large-scale disruption of certain parts of the business. And while
Cable television is on a decline. Linear television is on a decline. And you see all of these original television networks, cable networks launching apps and streaming networks versus traditional cable channels. Here you have blacks encouraging a black man due to simply emotions and nostalgia to purchase a depreciating asset. Something most likely, if they looked around, they would see that their children and a lot of times even themselves might be watching a lot of their content on tablets, iPhone.
While a lot of work has been accomplished in the 7 or so months that I've been back, the board believed, and I agreed with them, that there was a lot more work to do. And the timetable that we initially established, which was 2 years, seemed like it was putting undue pressure on us, even though we're getting at the work really quickly, but to accomplish everything we want to accomplish. So part of it was designed for continued stability and continuity, and also to give a team of very talented executives who work with me time not only to help me through what is a challenging period, but to develop themselves.
Yeah. We sat down in February. You'd been back a couple of months. And I did ask you if 2 years was too short a time. And you said, quote, you can get things done very quickly. Setting the company up for success is what you were talking about. So I wonder, did something change in your calculation of how quickly you can get things done?
Well, we've gotten a lot done very quickly. Significant cost reductions, a complete realignment of the company in terms of its structure.
Right there, significant cost reductions. In the interview, Bob Iger says that his linear networks, ABC News, ESPN, others, could be put up for sale. Why? He said because those networks do not have growth potential. Folks, understand what is happening in the media landscape.
What they was attempting to do was to sell one of these black guys, billionaires or so-called billionaires, BET, take the money from that, and then for them to build themselves a streaming outlet. The reason why they're so convinced that they can do such a thing is because we're following them. See, if you follow someone, they're gonna always be your leader. That's just a fact of life. So if us as black people continue to follow what they do, then they're gonna lead. Streaming has made the distribution of content more democratic. They still have a mass amount of control over the systems or the applications, but that because those are the applications that we empower: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Those are the applications that we go and we put our eyeballs to. If we built our own infrastructure and if we watched our own infrastructure, then that would change.
Okay? Cable news used to be here. It's now here. It's going down to here. So perfect example. When ESPN used to be in 100 million homes. ESPN is now in 74 million homes. Now, by the end of the year, they're going to be in less than 70 million homes. Why? Because of cord cutting. Pull the story up. This year it's estimated that 9.3 million people are going to cut the cord, meaning they're going to drop cable. 9.3 million. What that means is if you have a cable network, you have a depreciating asset. So if you buy a cable network today, the moment you buy it, the value of it is going to go down because you're losing customers. BET, when it was sold by Bob Johnson, was in 72 million homes. They're now down, folks, in the 60s and the 50s. The game is being changed in cable, in the cable. So it would be crazy to buy an asset today for more money than what is actually worth. It makes no sense whatsoever. If you actually run the numbers, BET at best, if you're going to purchase a majority stake in BET, it's probably anywhere from $1 billion to $1.2 billion at best. Now, why was Paramount interested?
I'm gonna place a link into my video that I did about this prior. And the reason for me doing that is because if we study history and understand our enemy, then they would not have been able to even attempt this scam on black people. We would have understood the reason they was trying to discard BET is because they seen no growth in it. Because they knew it was a sinking ship. But if you understand or understood anything about history and any other group of people dealings with Europeans, then you will go into any negotiations with them understanding this pre-hand.